Hi, I'm Dr. Mike Roussel, nutrition advisor for Men's Health Magazine, and today I'm joined with Monty Morris, and we're going to talk about some healthy swaps that you can make to transform your life and your lifestyle. So the first thing that you can do, and this is a big thing that Monty did, was you got to swap out inactivity for activity and really take action in your life and be a major player and drive your wellness. So Monty's lost 50 pounds, totally changed his whole life, and it all came from this, kind of scary meeting he had with his physician that drove him to start taking action and taking action every day. So Monty, maybe you could talk a little bit about that meeting with the physician and then how that drove you and what actions you've taken.
Yeah, that's right. I was feeling generally really lethargic and I had an unhappy mood, and I was feeling low generally. And so I went to the doctor, and I got a diagnosis of stage 2 hypertension, which is pretty close to a heart attack. And at 36, that was a pretty scary thing to hear. So I went home and cleared out my refrigerator. Just made a lot of changes in my life. I started an exercise regimen and just made a lot of changes, got rid of the bad stuff, brought in a lot of good stuff. And I feel great now, and I couldn't imagine doing it any other way.
So the key and what Monty really embodies is taking this action every single day. So if we were to get a little more tactical and kind of what are the specifics when you want to take action, what are those actions that you want to take? And one of the first things Monty did was he switched out big meals. He used to eat big meals like fast food, like burritos or burgers and fries for smaller meals like you see here, and what I like to call smart snacks. He started snacking on things at 10 o'clock in the morning, 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, foods that contain fat, fiber, and protein. 3 key components that make your body feel more full so that you're less hungry. So when the next meal comes around, you're less likely to overeat. So how did that work for you in kind of your day-to-day? Because I know you're in the car all the time.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time in the car driving all over the place. And whenever I was hungry, I would stop and drive through a drive-through or pick up a burrito or something like that. And I was eating really big meals at the time. And every time I did, I felt horrible afterward. I would just be lethargic again. So I started carrying trail mix that I made, little portions of pistachios and other snacks. And they were really satisfying, and they really cut down when mealtime came around. I was able to pretty naturally just cut down my portion sizes and make better decisions about what I did eat.
Yeah, I love pistachios. The fact that you were snacking on pistachios, they're a great snack in my house as well. One of the great things about pistachios is they contain that fat, fiber, and protein that I just talked about that work with your body so you feel less hungry when the next meal comes around. Now the other thing is with pistachios is you get 49 nuts per serving. Now everybody likes to be able to eat more, and so this is more nuts than any other nut. So when you're having this snack in your trail mix or in a standalone, like with these baggies, they're really easy to take with you, that you actually get to eat a fair amount compared to other snack foods. Now one other thing that Monty did, and this was a big driver that kind of overhauled kind of your overall behaviors too, is it used to be a beer drinker.
Okay.
And now some people, maybe it's not beer, maybe it's soda, sweet tea, energy drinks, fruit juice, could be any of these things. These calories that you're drinking, these empty calories, are really putting the brakes on your weight loss. It's like trying to drive with gas and the brake on at the same time. So when you swapped out beer, how did that work and what happened to your life?
Well, I knew I was making a bad decision by intaking all that beer. And in the evening when I'd come home from work, I would just sit down and have some beer and watch TV and lived a pretty sedentary lifestyle. And so I cut out the beer and replaced that time that I was gaining by not spending that time on the couch out exercising, mainly running for me. And so that was my swap. That was basically how I switched a bad habit to a good one.
So really the kind of the gem, the nugget here on the lifestyle transformation that Monty's talking about is that he removed a bad behavior, a behavior he identified as bad, which was drinking beer and just kind of sitting around, and then he replaced it with a good behavior. So he was proactive in replacing it with exercise and then drinking more water. If you just remove a bad behavior, you're going to have this void that's probably going to get filled with that bad behavior again. So make sure you're going to be really proactive when you're making these changes about replacing it with something good. And now one of the other things, just if we were to talk about kind of your new diet overall, is I know you started focusing on quality and not really quantity.
Yeah.
So if you look at kind of eating, and this is a really simple thing for people to do, you can look at your meals and say like, is this a high quality meal? Is this the kind of meal that's gonna nourish and fuel my body? Like you're so, just from us talking, even last night, talking about all the things you're into, like you couldn't fuel your new life on this stuff. Like you need that high quality fuel to fuel your vibrant life, snacking on nuts, on homemade trail mix, meals like this. That's a really key component to being able to live kind of this new lifestyle that you've kind of developed.
And I love natural things and whole things. I like whole foods and natural foods, and they also happen to be pretty portable. Like, for example, the pistachios. They're natural, they're whole, they're delicious, they're filling, and I can take them with me wherever I'd like. They sit on the passenger seat, and I can snack on them while I'm on the move.
Yeah, and I think, one last thing that's really important, and that when you hear Monty talk about the lifestyle changes that he's made, is he doesn't feel like he's making any compromises. He's found foods that he snacks on and meals that he eats that he really loves. So it's not, you don't feel like you're missing out on stuff.
Oh, no.
And that's a really important thing to make it a long-term lifestyle change. So if you want to know more about the lifestyle tips and things that we've been talking about here, you can visit my website, which is MikeRussell.com. That's Mike, ROUSSELL.com. You can also, I wrote a new book with Men's Health called The Meta-Shred Diet. You can find more about that at MikeRussell.com or on social media, Twitter, Instagram, where the handles are also Mike Russell.